The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. I mean, we're taking people from Somalia, and Somalia is a failed, it's not a nation. Got no government, got no police, got no military, got no nothing. And then we have this fake congressperson who they just reported is worth $30 million. You believe this? Ilhan Omar, talking about the Constitution provides me. She comes from a country that's not a country, and she's telling us how to run America. Not going to get away with it much longer, let me tell you.
Oh, hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Bakakwadash, double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to your brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right, this is going to be an in transit. I don't really even have a name for it, but Lord's will comes to me, by the end of the lesson. Either way, it has to do with this guy Trumpito and his hypocrite self. Visiting the WEF, World Economic Forum, and he had a few things to say, as you can see in the post-production. And man, just the hypocrisy, man, from these people, is crazy, man. And the pride too, man, and that's how we know the destruction is near, man, because these people are full of themselves, man. All right, he goes on to say that the situation reminds him and the U.S., I guess, and the elites, while you can't mass import foreign countries or cultures, he said, to the land, but it's funny because history shows that that's what they've done. Do you know what I'm saying? When they take over lands and they occupy places and all that, he specifically mentioned Somalia, saying, and I quote, cultures who have no society of their own. These people have their belief system and they're a nation, man. Of course they're their own society. Now that country's GDP is really low. They almost produce close to nothing, and then as far as the economy goes, right, and resources and stuff, but because they're very limited and it's a very volatile politically over there. So they have their own shit, their own issues, man. But that doesn't stop the U.S., even though this man conveniently left it out, how they use Somalia and its territory, especially that coastline that it has, as a tactical, outpost or however you would call that, as a position, as a tactical position for them. So I believe they have some type of agreement with Somalia, man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you got military over there, man. You use them. The least you could do is not speak so ill about them. You know what I mean? He's trying to say that Somalia has failed as a nation. It has no government or no military, I think he said, or police. You know what I mean? I personally don't know any Somalians. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure that they have, to the best of their ability, some type of law and order out there, man. But nothing how this man is putting it, how he's exaggerating, because he's playing to the crowd, not only to the crowd, but to the masses that watch, especially here, or back in Babylon, right? Because I forget where exactly he held this, so he was at what location exactly. But the point is, man, he goes on to say this about this country, and then calls one of their own, Ilhan Omar, and calls her fake and all this. And it's like, dude, this chick is a congresswoman. Like, she got voted in there, bro. Like, this bitch didn't just start tweeting, things about the Constitution and her rights or whatever. As a citizen, might I add, okay, of Babylon, you know. He mentions how she's worth 30 million. Can you believe that? Like, she has a husband that's I mean, to give her the benefit of the doubt, because we know all these fucking politicians ain't clean. They all they all dirty. A lot of them go in there, with really good intentions, but they soon find out that it's ran corruptly, and either you play along or you get out. You know what I'm saying? And so you never know. But nonetheless, to give her the benefit of the doubt, she does have a husband that has a few ventures, if I'm not mistaken, and their gross income or whatever as a company, as those two companies, I guess are worth about 30 million. I don't even know. I'm not in this man's finance. I do know that Trumpito shouldn't be talking, because he has a lot of bread, and the way that he has gotten it has been illegal. No, not that. That's not a word, but it has been ill-gotten, right? This guy has there's stories about this man, how he was effing over workers and stuff, and will pull out of a contract. And who knows? Maybe that's a lie. Maybe that's exaggerated by his political enemies. But at the end of the day, I know the scripture says never to trust your enemy, man. And Esau, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, is our enemy, man, to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? And here he is just shitting on another country that he uses, He even marks her, by quoting what she says of the Constitution, of how it provides her, the liberty to speak and express herself and all that stuff. Whatever it was that she said or tweeted out that he's using as a talking point, you know what I mean? Like, as to say, like, oh, she's trying to tell us how to run America. Well, Americans voted for her, dude. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is going on with you, man? What he says, he's quoted by saying, she comes from a country that's not a country, and she won't get away with it. As to say, she won't get away with it. She comes from a country that really is not a country, and so she's over here trying to tell us how to live. Like, dude, again, she was voted in, and the reason I keep mentioning that is because you have Americans that will play to that, man. That their emotions will be triggered, and that's your basic or your regular schmegular Babylonian, man. Just stupid as a bag of rocks, man. Let's get some scriptures right quick to close out, because man, this dude, they speak, the way they express themselves about people that are less fortunate, man, especially other countries, as if this country right now, America, isn't considered already a third world country who also doesn't produce much. It consumes more than what it produces over here, man. And then on top of that, yeah, hypocrites. You've got this whole country. It's you as a nation don't have any fucking don't have any rights to this country alone, man. You came over here and you got it by raping and killing the people, you know what I'm saying, whose bloods are spilled in each corner of this whole country. So to get up there in that podium, man, just proves, man, more and more to me, it should be clear to you brothers also, man, that are newly coming in, that this man is the devil, man. Okay, this man is the devil, man. The scriptures speak about him all over the place, and he's playing his position, man, might I add. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a few scriptures and read through them. They're pretty self-explanatory, man, but if you have the Spirit with you, man. This is the book of Psalms 73:8. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, right? And that word loftily basically goes into where is it at? Slovakia. of imposing height. Give me 1 second. Proud, right? Yeah, proud or more self-important next to anybody else. So that's the way they carry themselves when they speak about less fortunate people, especially you Jace, because that's what the scripture's speaking about. But you could apply it to how this man treats anybody and everybody, man. This is Isaiah 10, and I'll start at 5. It says, "What sorrow awaits Assyria? The rod of my anger." This is going in on how the Lord is manipulating, orchestrating all of it, right? The rod of my anger is what Assyria is what Esau is. He's a rod of the Lord's anger. I use it, the Lord uses it, and mind you, this isn't the NOT. I use it as a club to express my anger. You skip 6, go straight to 7 to make the point. It says, "But the king of Assyria will not understand that he is my tool." All right, this is why the scriptures speak about how pride has deceived him, man. This man doesn't see his latter end. He can't see his latter end being destruction, right? Because he's too full of himself. His mind does not work that way, it says here. His plan is simply to destroy, to cut down nation after nation. All right, this is what this man does, man. Okay, going around heaping to himself all manner of people. Okay, never keeping at home. He's spread out thin all over the damn country, man. And he still want to beef with everybody else, or try to appear to everybody as if they have that power still. You know what I mean? Which is why after the Maduro raid, there was all that, the way that they were talking and going about was as if can't nobody stop them, and you see, and almost like one of these wild animals showing their strength by huffing and puffing type of shit about the things that they're capable of, basically, man. Okay, hold on, I gotta pull over. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the faces of the world with their city." Okay, it says, "For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai of hosts, Salakia, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts, of army." Because the Lord has a sacrifice in this place, man. Okay, if you didn't notice, this is talking about Babylon right here, what the Lord is going to do to it. Verse 24 says, "Yahweh of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have proposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off of them, and off his burden, and his burden depart off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations," right? Because this is all orchestrated by the Lord. This man was given this power, man. Okay, hold on, let me just check where I'm at real quick. I'm on my way to a client, to pick up a client. You might hear some beeping, so Salakia. Verse 27 says, "For Yahweh of hosts has purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back?" You can't. All right, it's the Lord's will. It's the Lord's will, man. Everything that's going on, it's of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, man. This is where you Christians fail to accept or to even grasp, man, because the Spirit is just not dealing with you. All right, this is why you see Trump up there, and these Christians can't tell you, these Christian pastors can't tell you shit. But all they do is hooting and hollering and jumping around and hobo kabobo, and you know what I mean. And then you got your so-called Adventists and all the other ones that just speak all nice and softly, but they don't know what the fuck is going on. They cannot explain none of this. Okay, this is the book of Habakkuk 2:5. It says, "Yeah, also because he is transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. You see, he's always out and about spreading his bullshit, like he is right there in the World Economic Forum. That's where they go to show off all their bullshit, right? So it says, ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him? All these people, right? And in taunting proverb against him, and say, woe, destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Yeah, because this man goes around just pillaging, taking people's shit. You know what I mean? And people pray to the Lord and to their gods, the Lord, the Creator, the Lord, the Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He hears the complaints of these nations, man. All right, that's what it says. Shall not they take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb, and say destruction to him, right? Don't these people chant death to Babylon all the time? This is Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? They carve up the lands, the landscape, and they name it after themselves, man. You know, what more proof do you want, man? But you know, let's go get some more. Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what you're seeing right now, man, in live and direct, because she got voted in by her constituents. All right, other Edomites, man. Okay, this chick didn't just, you know, debo her way inside Congress. Okay, and I'll leave you with this last one because I'm about to pick this person up. I pray that this lesson was edifying. It says Revelations 18 and 12. The merchandise of gold and silver, right? This is going in on Babylon and how they profit of the things that they have for sale here. So it says, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and of fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and of iron and marble and cinnamon and odors, right, going into perfumes and colognes and whatnot, and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Okay, and souls of men. This is how these people get their money, and to this day they are they're like that, you know, to this very day, because this is how this man to this day gets money. You know, you hear all these allegations of child trafficking and human trafficking, and there's allegations and reports of how, you know, basically the government legally does all this, so plays like the middleman to all this. You know what I'm saying? This is why you don't see an uptake on them looking for predators and stuff, man. You know, this man is a hypocrite, man. Just a pure fucking hypocrite, man. But his joy is but for a moment, man. And that's what we're looking forward to. We patiently waiting for that day, man. You know, I pray this lesson was edifying. In closing, I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out and always goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn, the rest of the hopeful elect. To you all I say Shalom, Ababa Bor, and Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.